Alright, so basically this young lady made this post saying, hey, I'm bored. Let me know when you found out your man was gay or DL. So basically, we're going to go through the comment section and look at how valid these reasons are, because some of them are, some of them aren't. Because remember, there are a lot of women who are convinced that their exes are gay simply because he was mean to them one time. But before we get to that, a little bit of state of affairs early in the video. I know I usually don't do this, but I just got to say, my girlfriend might have passed away. Okay. And yeah, that's a bit odd, bit of an odd experience for me. I haven't told anybody like on like social media, obviously, because like Twitter and like TikTok, you know how they are. But she kind of sent me something that was like troubling, and then has not answered her phone since, and her friends haven't heard from her either. So I don't know what's going on with her. But if you saw me tweet, because I tweeted, I was like, bro, my girl might have passed away. You know, this is so weak. So people were confused about that, and they're like, oh, like what's going on? So like that's all I know right now. But I definitely wanted to post another video before I posted any sort of like long form content about it, because of course, you know, I have to, bro. If I'm gonna go through bad things, I have to use it for content. Okay, I don't care what people say. I'm gonna give it one more day, because thing is, usually I didn't hear from her yesterday, but usually she doesn't go like a day without talking to me, like whatsoever. Like there are times where she's like, oh, like I need to give you your space right now, and I understand that. And then like 20 minutes later, she'll be like, oh, I can't, it's too hard. So like she's not the type to just like go off the grid. And again, she texted me something. Obviously, I'm not gonna tell you what she said, but it was something that would lead me to believe that she might not be okay, you know. But yeah, I want to give it another day, because you know, hopefully it's a misunderstanding. Hopefully this clip of the video looks very stupid, you know, in like a day from now, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's actually okay. But I don't know. Okay, also another thing is, I got criticized heavily in my last video because of the camera quality. Y'all were saying it was bad. I promise you, I'm pretty sure, if it's something you haven't noticed before, I'm pretty sure it's because of the backlighting. Okay, I gotta stop recording these during the day. But that shouldn't be a problem during this video, because I'm gonna shrink myself to look at the comments. Okay, so her post says, I'm bored. Tell me when you realized your man was secretly gay or DL. Here's the thing. I feel like this is kind of already a harmful post just by its nature. Like, I feel like when you look at men being closeted as like, ooh, like this is just juicy gossip, it's kind of harmful to those who are closeted. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you can't really explain it too in depth, but whoops, it's just like a little, gosh, I keep doing that. It's just like a little nasty. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna look at these comments. Now there are 13,000 comments. Obviously, we're not gonna go through all 13,000, but you know, the top ones. Okay, so she found boy butter used in the bathroom. Then a couple months later, she walked in on what looked like him finishing kissing his boy. She didn't say anything. He got defensive before she even said anything. Okay, see, that's pretty pretty damning evidence. And boy butter, because I saw this comment when I first saw the post. It's apparently, she says it's like lube for men, and I'm like, isn't all lube technically lube for men? I didn't know lube was so gendered. Okay, this girl says he got mad at me for showing him the Striking Vipers Black Mirror episode because it made him feel uncomfortable. If you know, you know. I'm pretty sure Striking Vipers is the one where two friends played the game and they ended up like sleeping with each other. Now, here's the thing I will say about this one. I feel like a lot of people are kind of uncomfortable around gay people, and I don't feel like it's always due to them being gay themselves. Like, personally, I don't feel like this is a good one. I don't think this is promising. I don't think this one's promising either. Randomly calling me Poppy when he's drunk instead of Mommy. What's so wrong with that? Like, I'm not sure if I see the vision of that being pure. Like, I don't see how that's like the evidence. Like, this girl, like, oh, she found the lube, and then she pretty much walked in on him kissing somebody, right? Like, that's evidence where it's like, oh yeah, like for sure. But I wouldn't be so sure. I wouldn't be so sure. I don't know why. Okay, also, this annoying guy right here, bro. These comments are wild. So happy I came out at 16 and never put a woman through this trauma. Trying to hide who I am and who I like. You all in the comments deserve better. Shut up, bro. I hate gay dudes like that, bro. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? And this is not homophobic. I love gay people, period. But like, when it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so better than these people who didn't come out. It's like, bro, please. It's like good for you, but at the same time, bro, have you ever seen someone in tears because they feel like they can't come out? Like, bro, that will do something to you. Like, bro, there's people I know where it's like their dad would literally like take their life if they found out that they were gay. You know what I mean? So it's like sitting here and playing this game of, man, I'm so glad that like I came out. Like, I can't believe these men did this. It's very, very insensitive, you know what I mean, to what these other people go through. Because this right here, bro, I'm not gonna click on his profile, but he's some white dude, bro. He probably had some white family that was like, we love you regardless. And the thing is, though, my mom is like that, you know, and my sisters, like everyone I grew up with, like if I told them I was gay, they would be like, oh, woohoo, yippee, like, you know, they would jump up and down, you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, like we love you, blah 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 blah. So it's like, if I can still understand that there are people who aren't in that luxurious of a situation, And like just people like this just act like it's not even a thing. It just annoys me. And I know that's not directly what he's saying, but it's very much implied. Okay, and also I'm glad I never put a woman through this trauma. I hate one thing I always hate, and I've said this on other platforms many times. I hate when we talk about closet and DL men as if it's some sort of feminist women's issue, because it is not. It is an LGBTQ plus issue. These men are closeted because they are not comfortable being out in society. They are not just pure predators, and I feel like people talk about them like they're predators. Now if we talk about like people like cheating in their relationships, like yes, of course that's bad, but like I don't see that as it being worse than any other kind of cheater. Bro, this girl found gay adult videos in his phone, confronted him, and he beat her up. Yeah, the beating up is a problem. But yeah, no, that's a pretty good litmus test. Okay, this one is, ladies, if you oh, there's a man, gay man commenting. Bro, I hate when the pander bears. I will never understand gay men pandering to women. Okay, because here's the thing. I don't think gay men understand, because I feel like there's only a certain side of women that gay men get to see when it comes to like the LGBTQ plus. And the thing is, the gays would not want to hear this, right? The gay men would not want to hear this. But when it comes to like these women, like the women in this comment section, stuff like that, you want to listen to bisexual men, because when I tell you, bisexual men have seen plenty of times, and they are very much aware that women, I feel bad for circling her in particular, but like that women in general are not as much on your team as you think they are. Like literally, bro, if you're gay, make a straight woman mad, okay? Make a straight woman mad. Probably 3 times out of 5, I would say, something questioning your manhood, your masculinity is going to come up if you get into a genuine argument with a straight woman. But anyways, he said, ladies, if you're wondering if your man is DL, ask him if he has Grindr on his phone. If he says no, he's DL. The correct answer should be, what's Grindr? Now, here's the thing. Grindr is kind of like a popular thing, I feel like. Now, I'm never going to beat the allegations saying this, but I feel like most people have an understanding of what Grindr is. Like, I feel like it's like a popular thing to know about. Like, we know, like, that's like the gay dating app. Like, that's its whole entire thing. Like, I don't know if I'm just on like the gay side of social media or something, but I feel like I see people post about Grindr all the time. So I'm like, bro, if I'm seeing it, bro, I feel like anybody can see it. Anyways, ooh, someone said they went to make a new account on Grindr with his phone number and email, and they said an account already existed with that information. That is a very good idea, not even gonna lie. Okay, she cooked with that one, okay, and that's pretty. Now, here's the thing. Does the account already existing mean that he had Grindr when he was with that woman? I wouldn't be so sure. That's neither here nor there, for real, okay? She said, I think they are all on DL now. To be honest, I mean, yeah, who could guess that there's a woman who thinks all men are DL? This is very popular nowadays. Anyway, someone said, domestic violence and serial cheater. 19,000 likes. What are we talking about? I feel like the whole DL men are abusers and like cheaters and stuff like that is kind of like that ploy where police, like if you get pulled over, right, and they think you drunk drove, they want you to say the alphabet backwards. The thing is, the reason they say that is because some people let it slip. They're like, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that even if I was sober. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like they kind of trick that person into being like, oh, well, you are drunk driving. Okay, it saves a lot of time. I feel like what they try to do with the whole domestic violence and cheater thing is they want someone to be like, oh, well, I'm DL and I've never hit a woman, or I've hit a woman and I'm not gay. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's not funny, but you know what I mean? Like, it feels like they're trying to like somehow like trick people into saying stuff. Like, if you genuinely believe, now obviously she's not saying like this is all men, but there's a lot of women who believe all men who like cheat, all men who hit women, I've literally seen the post, are DL. And the thing is, if you genuinely believe that, bro, like, you have some problem. It's just a homophobic rationale. And the thing is, like, they don't care when they say stuff like this because they feel like they're women and that they're so like so ultra oppressed that there's like nothing wrong they can do. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to men. Okay, next girl said, he told me he only had Grindr on his phones because he wanted compliments from other dudes to boost his confidence. That's so funny. I love I love all the Grindr ones. They're very funny. He lacked respect for women but praised his friends and other random men. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just describing a misogynist. Like, what are we talking about? Look at the next one. Domestic violence. For me, that's always the first sign. Like, do they not see how problematic that is? Like, do they not see that that's an issue to, like, say? It's just simply not possible. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like, do they genuinely believe that? Like, because the thing is, if they genuinely believe that, do they not realize the implications that has, like, about gay people in general? It's just horrible. It's horrible things to say. So it's like these men, bro, very much, these men very much could not be gay, like, whatsoever. But they're over here farming all these likes because they're telling all these other women what they want to hear about their abusers or like their DL exes or whatever. And my thing is, why in this situation, right, does, oh man, he's such a misogynist, he must be gay. Why does that make you feel better? I mean, the answer is homophobia. You know what I mean? But it's like, how do you justify within yourself, like, oh yeah, it makes me feel better now that like I'm calling him gay? You know what I mean? And then like these are the same women where it's like, oh, I'm not homophobic. Okay, next one. My gay brother had a lot of guy friends and I partied with them and they gave me a ride and showed me my baby daddy's account on Grindr. Dude, the Grindr ones are good. I don't know what to say. He would raise his voice and temper easily with women, but have unwavering patience and respect for other men. Found Grindr in his phone. Not gonna lie, and again, 68,000 likes. I think these two things are completely unrelated. Again, I feel like this right here, simple misogyny, okay? Lack of respect for women, and I think he just happened to be gay. But now a bunch of people are liking this. Again, like they're just looking for an excuse. They're like, okay, the next man that yells at me is gay. Okay, now they're kind of having boring ones. Like, yeah, cousin saw him on Grindr, played the Grindr sound to catch the reaction. Dad was very homophobic. Bro, I'm sorry. I'm just imagining like some old man getting a Grindr notification. Domestic violence, always in all caps. See what I mean? Like, do you see how this is a problem? Like, it kind of cheapens the effect of saying that domestic violence is a problem by making it now like a gay thing. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just being like, hey, like, this is a man who abused women. Like, this is horrible. Somehow him being gay is like factored in. And that's why I hate DL man discourse, okay? Because apparently people say there's difference between DL and closeted. Like, DL means like you're actively going out and cheating. And it's like, okay, like I guess if you're making definitions for things. But my thing is, why is it a point to make it a specific title for someone who's gay and going out on cheating, or someone who's gay and like beating up on you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, creating a new term for it, right? And having posts like this and people say things like this imply that him cheating on you while being gay or while being bisexual is worse than him just cheating on you, which is kind of inherent homophobia. Like, why can't we just simply factor in like, oh, the DL men suck with, hey, you know, cheaters suck. People who cheat on their partners, people who abuse their partners are horrible. Instead of saying things like, oh, yep, domestic violence is definitely a sign of this man is gay, when it just doesn't, not only does it not make sense, but it is actually genuinely harmful rhetoric. She heard the Grindr ringtone at 2 a.m. The Grindr ones are hilarious. Bro, he made a Tinder profile using her photos to talk to men. Bro, I could not imagine. You know what'd be funny? If it was actually like her profile, like she made it and then like she tried to like blame him for it so people didn't think she was cheating on him. But like, yeah, no, like that's actually so weird. And I feel like that's a horrible idea, because don't you think someone would bring that to her attention? Like, hey, I saw you on Tinder. Like someone's making a fake account. Like, it would just come up. You know what I mean? Bro, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Domestic violence, alcoholism now. Now we're saying alcoholics are gay. You know what I mean? When like I say these people are literally just like not the sharpest tools in the shed. And again, she says serial cheater, hated women, praised men. Again, it sounds like you just described an emotionally stunted misogynist, right? Like that. Like, what are we talking about here? Bro, this girl said he changed his voice on the phone with one of his boys and became soft spoken. What? Now we're talking about voices. See, bro, bro, she would hate that. I'm telling you this. But my girl, oh, man, I don't know if she's alive. But my girl, before she may or may not have passed away, basically, she is from New York, right? I think she was raised in like Brooklyn or something. I don't know. But if she's talking to someone from New York, her New York accent will come out like extremely strong. And like she'll be like stuck in the accent for a long time. Also, she speaks different languages. So sometimes she'll get stuck in a language, which I don't think that's like the same exact thing as this. But basically, I'm saying people sometimes talk differently around other people. You know what I mean? Like, and also the whole, you know, oh, this person has a gay voice thing. I've never been too much of a subscriber to that. But now, mind you, I've heard some voices where I'm like, okay, like, come on. But the thing about me is I get the gay voice allegations. And I'm like, bro, my voice could sound so much gayer than it does right now. Like, I know for a fact it could. So I'm like, bro, like, if you think this is like my gay voice, like, I don't trust what you think other people's gay voices are. You know what I mean? See, there's another one telling them to make a Grindr notification and play it and watch the reaction. Okay, don't confront him if he's sus, because he could get violent moving sounds. Okay, here's the thing about that. For one, say he has Grindr on his phone. Say he does or doesn't have Grindr on his phone, and he just hears the notification, and he looks and he doesn't have a notification. He would look at you and be like, what's that? Because he would know it came from your phone. Like I don't know how dumb they think these men are. Also, the thing about that is, I feel like any man or any human being, if they hear a notification or some sort of sound coming from a phone, they're going to be like, Like they're gonna be like, oh, like what's that? Like why is that suspicious? And also, when I tell you I don't know what any notifications sound like, my phone's on D&D at all times. So if you try to play a notification from a specific app, I wouldn't know which app it was. But again, like me being a human being, I'd probably be like, oh, what was that sound? So this right here is it's like I understand the general idea of it, but it's like we're not dogs. Like like we would just be like, we'd be like, what is that sound? You know what I mean? Regardless of whether or not you're familiar with Grindr. Bro, when he watched Baddies faithfully every week, we can't watch TV now? Like, we can't watch television programming. Like I remember I used to get gay allegations because I was watching America's Next Top Model, right? Now here's the thing. Whether or not I'm gay is neither here nor there. But my point always was, how am I gay for watching attractive women do attractive women things and get set up and like take really nice photos? Like what's gay about that? Like, bro, we need to normalize so much. Okay, this girl said, excuse me, when he would came home from a party and proudly tell me how men tried to hit on him or tried to kiss him, like, boy, why are you happy? Conflicting. Here's the thing. I feel like coming home to your partner and telling and kind of being happy about anybody hitting on you, kind of a red flag. Like I feel like that's not really something you should say, even if you aren't interested in someone whatsoever. However, I feel like this guy, he could have just seen it as an ego boost. Okay, I don't think that necessarily makes him gay. When he told me he was the prize in the relationship, see what I mean? Like, now we're just whoa. Now we're just BSing. His obsession with Andrew Tate. Like, bro, like, see, now, like, what are we talking about? See, it gets to the point, like, the first few ones were like, okay, yeah. When it was like, oh, I found, gay stuff in his phone and he beat me up. Like, absolutely. Like, that makes sense. But now we're getting to a point where it's just like, oh, yeah, he did something I didn't like. Okay, this is interesting. This is, again, another pander bear. Someone said, girls, let me save y'all some time. Search up Grindr on his phone, and if it has the cloud icon instead of download or get it, just end it there. Here's the thing. That man easily could just be like bisexual. You know what I mean? Like obviously if he actively has Grindr on his phone, he's in a relationship, it's probably something to be suspicious about. But it's like if he had Grindr because he had Grindr and then deleted it because now he's dating you, I don't see how that's, ooh, let me save y'all some time, just run away right there. But people act like bisexuals are like just, bro, people act like bisexuals are like the devil. It's so crazy. Like people act like bisexuals are just constantly like sleeping with everyone, cheating, and just super sleazy, bro. This girl said he got happy and started cleaning his room when he told his friend, when he told me his friend was coming over, he never cleaned his room for me. Here's the thing about that. I feel like potentially I understand what she's getting at, but not really. Okay, there would have to be other signs. I think particularly, like, I'm much more comfortable with my girl, bro. Dude, I don't know if she's alive. Anyways, I'm much more comfortable with my girl. Potentially RIP. I'm much more comfortable with my girl than I am with like my friends. So like if my room is a bit messy, I would absolutely have my girl there before I would have a friend there, if that makes sense. But I mean that could just be me. But like I feel like again, like I feel like I see her point, but it's not enough. He was laying on the bed in a feminine way. Bro, what does she mean? Like, you see what I mean, bro? It's getting to the point. I'm so glad because I was nervous at first because the first ones were like kind of legit. I'm just so glad it's getting to the point they're just saying anything, bro. He wanted colored eye contacts, and his friends told me he used to do the splits and listen to Nicki as a kid. Bro, God forbid he's quirky. You know what I mean? God forbid you meet a quirky man. That's what some of these women are like having problems with. Like a man's just quirky, laying on the bed in a feminine way. He's just a different kind of guy, and that now all of a sudden he's gay. And see, here's stuff like this. Was breaking up with me periodically and accusing me of cheating. Then I eventually found Grindr on a burner phone. I feel like you could just say you found Grindr on the burner phone. Okay, so this guy, he said, as someone who was out and used to be DL in my teens, I was purposely homophobic to deflect anyone ever suspecting me. That's usually the biggest sign in my opinion. Now here's the thing. When he says DL, I think he means closet. Not that's neither here nor there. But my thing is I never understood the homophobic because I'm gay method. Because it's literally so obvious. You know what I mean? Like I feel like everyone knows about that. Like I feel like it gets to a point, like if you want to be DL, I feel like you can just like be yourself. Especially nowadays, bro, people are gonna call you gay for anything. So it's like you can't avoid like someone suspecting you. I promise you, bro, especially if you're around somebody enough, or I could just be saying this to someone on the internet. But like I feel like eventually you're going to get some gay allegations. Like if you're like, I'm not saying this because I know not everyone's a creator, but like say like you're a creator, you talk for any period of time, someone's going to find something and be like, oh man, is this guy gay? So in my opinion, it's not worth like playing all these kinds of like kind of games. But I mean, I don't know, who am I to speak for other people? Bro, if he has multiple kids by different women with no marriage, he literally trying to create proof he's not into men. Like what are we talking about here? Now mind you, again, some of these things are absolutely things that happen. I'm not trying to discredit it, but it's like, when people are like, oh, this is the rule, like this is absolutely what happens, it's ridiculous. Okay, this girl said DL abusive men watching this, and then kind of did like a shocked face emoji. This kind of looks funny on the computer. But my thing about this is I think it's kind of implied like, oh man, your secret's getting out. But like, I feel like people have been saying this for a very long time. Like, oh man, if he hits you, it's because he's gay. Like, this has been like a very common theme, at least in the past year. Hold on, I really don't like this one. Hyper fixated on his looks. Guy wants to look good. Bashes gay men 24/7. He might just be homophobic, okay? Which is bad, but he might just be a homophobic guy. Can't get enough time with his homeboys. He likes his friends. And when it feels like he's trying to compete with you all the time. Bro, compete with you in what way? I hate when there's like a problem where it's like, oh, men trying to compete with women, men trying to compete with women. Bro, if you're the only reason you don't want to compete is when you're afraid you're going to lose, okay? So, and that's why I don't get it. Also, there's some misogyny in there. Oh, men shouldn't be competing with women. Because you see it as men stooping down to try to compete with women, when really it's just human beings competing with other human beings. Bruh, they said, I watched his eyes every time we were out and a man passed by. I didn't say anything though, but always looking at his eyes, he told on himself without speaking. Why would you, if you think your man is checking out other men, why would you even stay with him? Okay, bro, this girl said he was a Libra. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, bro. It's just anything. He said, you too girly for me? Not every guy wants a super girly woman. When he put you in the masculine role, what does that even mean? The accuracy of this is stunning, and next time you know you're just taken out of your feminine energy. Next, bro, I say this everywhere. Bro, if a man can take you out of your feminine energy, you are not feminine. If a man is responsible for your femininity, if that's how you genuinely feel, you are not feminine. And that is okay, because as this girl eloquently put, not every man wants an extremely feminine woman, even though that's like what a bunch of people are saying online. I feel like a lot of men just say they want a feminine woman because, again, like saying they want a masculine woman would make people think they were gay. But it's just like, bro, like somehow these men are supposed to be the keepers of your femininity. It doesn't make any sense. Oh my gosh, she went through his ex phone and his most recent app was Grindr. He begged me to stay and I called the cops to get him out. I'm like, oh man, called the cops. That's crazy. Hopefully he wasn't doing it. Oh man, I hate when I do that, bro. I just went to the next comment section. Whoa, gay dude's giving us more game. He says, check his phone in browser for sniffles. It's an app a lot of DL guys use. Don't let him get y'all sick because he's insecure. If you're cool with him being bi, make sure he's on prep. Bro, what? Okay, for one, it's very disturbing to me that there are some women who are just like looking for ways to like catch their man, catch them being like DL or whatever. But this comment at first, it was just like, oh wow, like there's this app that a lot of DL men use. Okay. But then don't let him get you sick because he's insecure. If you're cool with him being bi, make sure he's on prep. For one, the notion that men who sleep with men are just on all of these, just have all these crazy diseases is horrible, especially coming from a gay man, internalized homophobia. But also, this seems to imply, if you're cool with him being bi, that he's going to be sleeping with men and her because he's bi. When again, being like, I don't know if you guys know this, and he clearly doesn't. Being bisexual does not mean you're polyamorous. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of bisexual people I know would never even consider being polyamorous because they're like monogamous people. Like, that's just horrible, bro. 600 likes, bro. You hate to see the internalized homophobia come out. And then especially the biphobia with the whole, oh yeah, bi men. They sleep with everybody at the same time. Make sure he's on prep. Which, by the way, if you don't know what prep is, I forgot. It's some sort of medicine where it's like you take it if you think you're about to get HIV. It's kind of funny, like the concept. But it's like, basically, if you're about to sleep with someone with HIV, you can take prep and then you won't get HIV. Which kind of is crazy to me because I'm like, if we can make something that can prevent someone from getting HIV, can't we just cure HIV? Don't quote me on that, okay? I don't need the CIA coming for me because I have too many good ideas. Whoa, this girl said, if he tells you my ex likes to tell people I cheated with a dude to be mean, believe her has happened more than once. See, this is a complicated one. Like, I feel like it definitely should be taken into account, right? But some exes be lying, okay? Some exes like really just like, especially, bro, if you live in like a small town, bro, people want to ruin your reputation. Like the amount of women I've ended things with and they're going around like telling people like just like crazy stuff. Like, I've had women go around saying I cheated when I wasn't even in a relationship with them. You know what I mean? Like, people just talk. And especially if someone can come out and be like, oh, well, this guy's gay, especially if they know it would be bad for him, please, bro, they're absolutely gonna do that every time. Bro, when he wanted me to keep chasing him to prove I like him, when I tell you, and something about TikTok that like gets me every time is when he wanted me to chase him to prove I like him, when I tell you this could mean anything. Like he could have wanted her to text first once, you know, maybe ask him out on a date, and it's, oh man, he wants me to keep chasing him. Bro, this girl said, when a good friend called me and asked me to go to a specific address and not knock, but just look in the window, I learned all I needed to know about my spouse from that one glance. Bro, what? Bro, I wish she told us like what they were doing in there. Does she? Sorry. See, this is the problem. See, now I'm looking at it like it's tea. You know what I mean? It's such an issue. This guy, Johnny, said, you know, as a guy reading these comments, it breaks my heart for y'all females. I'm crying, bro. Niggas can't even pander right, bro. I pray that y'all all find your piss from me. Bro, shut up. Okay, for what you just called them females. Two, I'm joking with the shut up part. It is genuinely sad that these women were with men that they presumably liked that ended up being gay, you know what I mean, and not interested in them whatsoever, or cheating on them or whatever. Now, as for the women who just have things that they don't like about men that they were with, so now they're calling them gay, obviously I don't feel much sympathy for them, but what's happening? Bro, they... Oh, someone said something about females. That's funny. Bro, this one says he would stay miserable and frowning at me, but is all smiles when he's talking to his homeboys. Did you ever consider the fact that maybe you're like horrible? Like maybe he doesn't want to be with you. Like maybe he doesn't have a good time with you, but he has a good time with his friends because they're his friends. Wait, now, okay, look at me right now. Is this camera quality better than the last video? I don't know, because I watched the last video camera quality and I could see how it was a bit bad. I don't know. I feel like this is better right now, but I literally can't tell. Someone told me to get a 4K camera. Bro, this is a 4K camera. Like, I don't know what to do. I truly, genuinely do believe it is the backlighting, though, if there are any problems. So I'm going to record. Man, I'm probably going to record about my girl tonight. What if nah, bro. Okay, relax. But I'll probably record something tonight. So then, like, I'll see if it's better then. When he was okay with me paying all the bills. See, how does that make someone a homosexual? Like, I did not know liking money made you gay. Like, it's an issue. Bruh, he ran 6.1 miles in about 10 minutes in dress shoes because he thought I had access to his tablet he left in my car. I said to myself, oh yeah, he has men in that phone. Yeah, bro, that's why I don't understand when they're like, oh, if he's too mad, it's because there are men in there. Bro, he could just be cheating regular. Someone said this literally just confirmed everything I already knew. I knew I wasn't crazy. Bro, this is horrible. Bro, you know that meme where it's like two like dumb B words telling each other exactly. Obviously, not everyone in this comment section is like that, but the ones where it's like, oh, he wanted me to pay for things. Oh man, he wanted me to chase him. Someone said based on the comments, I think they're all DL. Literally, bro. That's why y'all got to clear it up. It could be said that most people are due to us living in a heteronormative society. Okay, that is true. Okay, heteronormative, what's it called? Oh my gosh, how do I forget it? I literally wrote an entire paper on it. Compulsory heteronormativity. Okay, it's basically when people, I don't know why I didn't have my face like this the entire time. I think I genuinely was scared of like the camera quality. But anyways, basically compulsory heteronormativity means we've been like kind of like coached up in the society to be hetero the entire time, and that's why, because it's like you grow up, right? Like everyone assumes they're straight before either realizing they're gay or being like, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely straight. But in theory, in a society where we weren't so pressured into like these straight heteronormative relationships, much more people would be gay or bisexual or whatever. Basically a whole like nature versus nurture type deal. And that's like the real shorthand of it. Like it's actually really interesting. Technically it's feminist literature, but it's more so like an essay. But yeah, you know, some of my favorite read, because I feel like it's absolute, because it's a theory, but I feel like it's absolutely true. Because that would explain closeted people, explain DL people, explain a lot. Like how women like make out with each other, like in the club, you know, like how straight women will do that. But the thing is, I know women who like identify as straight who would never do that. You know what I mean? So that's why like I would never really like subscribe. Like if it was somehow every woman just went to the club kissing other women, I'd probably be like all women are gay. But like the fact that I know there are women who like that's like disgusting to them that they would never do that. That's how I know the women who do that, they do like women. You know what I mean? And that's okay. But like, I mean, obviously, if you're single, that's okay. Because, bro, there are DL women. Like, bro, I know this dude, bro. He's dating this girl. He's completely okay with her kissing women. He was in the back seat, right? I was in the passenger seat. Not that it matters. But basically, he was in the back seat. His girl was in the back seat. Another girl was in the back seat. Another girl was in the back seat. His girl was sitting on his lap, kissed another woman right in front of him. They started making out. Nigga, I wish. No, I don't wish. But, like, bro, I would have jumped out the car. Bro went full cuckold in the back seat, and he was like genuinely cool with it. Like, you know those things where it's like, oh, like this happens, I'm not cool with it, but I'm gonna bring it up later. He seemed absolutely cool with it. And then like I talked to one of his friends after, like he was like, oh yeah, he's definitely cool with stuff like that. Someone said I woke up and he was watching Brokeback Mountain crying. Bro, Brokeback Mountain It's a sad movie. I think you can cry at that. I think you can cry, bro, that's so whack. It's like, here's the thing. This man might have been gay, right? But my thing is, it's like you're sitting here telling men like, oh, men have no empathy, men are the worst, da 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 da. Maybe he's empathizing with these gay men, in their struggle. Maybe because think, bro, if you watch a movie like Moonlight, bro, and that doesn't make you emotional, that's about a gay dude too. If that doesn't make you emotional, I don't know if you have a heart. You know what I'm saying? What if there's a woman, a movie about a woman going through something and he cries? Like, would you also think he was gay? Would you think he was trans all of a sudden? Like, no, you would just be like, oh, he's empathizing. So it's like, yes, this guy might be gay because, I don't know, she might know something. I mean, she probably does know something I don't, but like, bro, it's unfair. He did the splits both ways in front of me and my best friend and told us, I bet y'all can't do this. Bro, God forbid a man be flexible. God forbid. Bro, she showed this video to her boyfriend in the comments and he goes, haha, if you do that, you'll find mine, but I made it as a joke. No way. Poor guy. Not gonna lie, if my girl showed me something like this, I'd be pissed. Like if she, hold up, I'm make myself, yep. If my girl showed me something like this, I would literally, and she showed me these comments and was like being genuine about it. Like if she showed me and she's like, oh, like I think this is so weird. Like if she had the same thoughts I did, obviously I wouldn't care. But if she showed me this, like, okay, now like I'm curious about you. Like, what's up? I would be pissed because what do you mean? And I got to make myself big again. I kind of got a story. So basically, I remember I was with this girl and she was kind of like trying to ask like whether or not I was gay. And then I was just like, it doesn't really matter because it's like I'm with you. I'm not gonna involve myself with a man. Actually, I think she was talking about. She was like, oh yeah, like I couldn't see myself getting with a woman because she's like uber straight or whatever. And then she was like, oh yeah, definitely not because like now we're together because people are like, oh, we're gonna be together forever. But anyways, then I was like, I basically said the same thing. I was like, yeah, we're together. I wouldn't really have any sort of inkling to get with a man, because I'm, I was kind of being like sappy and stuff. But then she was kind of like questioning me. She's like, oh really? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, just know, if you want to experiment, I'd rather you do it now than do it later. And I'm like, it's like I'm literally like telling you like to your face, like, no, like I'm good. Like that's not going to be an issue. And like she's making it an issue. First of all, I'm naturally insulted by that, because for one, it's not like the whole like, oh, are you gay thing. It's more so like a character thing. Like you think I'm gonna like sleep with men when I tell you that like I'm not gonna sleep with men. Like you're telling me, oh, I think you might cheat, and I'm like, nope, I won't. And like you're kind of keep insinuating. Like that's what upset me. I remember something I'm mad about to this day. I had to tell her I was straight because she literally wouldn't stop. Like it was. One of my biggest regrets because I love the mystery game and I hate the notion that my orientation would matter at all to someone I'm with who genuinely likes me for me. You know what I mean? Like I remember one time I beefed with this one girl because she said something like, she's like, oh yeah, like if you were, mind you, this girl was bi, but she's like, oh yeah, like if you were like trans, I wouldn't be able to do it. And I was like, excuse me? Because you know what I mean? It's like when I want people to like me, I want them to like me for who I am, not like for this certain archetype I fulfill. So yeah, I hate that I told her that shit, bro, because in my mind at the time I was like, okay, it's not gonna matter because obviously I'm not gonna cheat, like it's just not gonna come out. But then like thinking about it now, I'm like, bro, my whole like mysterious like code, the whole like I hate labeling thing just completely went out the window. Okay, so upsetting by myself. Okay, so upset by myself. This girl said his obsession with Drake. That's very funny. And this girl said he was in National Guard when on deployment, and they share a Google account, and she saw they downloaded Grindr. How do you share a Google account? What? Domestic violence, hyperfixation on looking good, and was definitely in competition with me 24/7. Okay, look, domestic abusers deserve no slack. Okay, again, I went on that little rant about like how it's homophobic to even say something like this, so I'm not gonna say that again. But I hate the hyperfixation on looking good. God forbid a man wants to look good. Like literally, I forgot. I don't know if I'll see it here, but literally, I've seen women say like a man having a skincare routine is gay. And it's like, what, you want to date dudes with bad skin? You want to date dudes with dry lips? This is an interesting one. They said, now this is just scary. It's one thing to have to be worried about women, but now we got to worry about getting cheated on with a man too. Oh, nah. See, what people don't understand about cheaters is they're cheaters, okay? They're going to cheat on who they cheat on. So it's not like, oh, I got to be worried about these people. Like a loyal person could be in, like a loyal person. And that's why, like when people are like, oh, like, don't let your partner like do their own things. But a loyal person realistically could go to a club and not cheat on anybody and not cheat on their partner. You know what I mean? If I go into some bar, I'm not going to cheat on my girl because that's simply not something I want to do. And I have complete control over that. But I'm telling you, you can put a cheater in the Mojave Desert. Actually, that's populated, isn't it? In the Sahara Desert, some desert that's not populated. They're going to find a way to cheat if that's what they want to do. So it's like the notion of, and this is why bisexual people be going through it, okay? It's like the notion of now you have to worry about more people getting cheated on with rather than just like, hey, this person's either a cheater or they're not. It's foolish, and also, I mean, I get like everything here is problematic because it's a problematic post, but it's like it's short-sighted, like it doesn't make sense. Like if you think for 2 seconds or understand the concept of cheating, or these people are actually kind of red flags. Like I feel like it's the same way where like when people say like being gay is a choice, you know what I mean? Like some man says, oh, it's a choice to be gay. It's like, oh well, so you're saying you could choose to be gay. It's kind of like saying like, oh, we got to be worried about men and women. It's kind of like when people are like, oh, it's more of like a numbers thing. Like if there are more people around, they're more likely to cheat. It kind of would insinuate that this person is likely to cheat if they're presented enough options. Like, I feel like I cooked with that explanation, but you know what I mean? Another guy, he said, hi, gay guy here. To be honest, it sounds like your men were bi, not fully gay. There's tons of straight men on Grindr looking for drag queen / trans girls, but not for manly men. That is definitely a thing. Oh my gosh, this dude's cooking. He said saying bi and gay are the same thing as like saying bi and straight are the same thing. Tons of married bi girls, and no one ever says that they're lesbians. But if a guy is bi, he's gay. Bro, this dude cooked. Okay, this girl said hi, bi is gay. Look, he still ate her up, so it doesn't matter, and he's got more likes. Anyways, she said it's okay to prefer men that don't take penis. Actually, that is like homophobia. And the thing about it is, like, there's no real excuse for it other than it being homophobia, right? And I could go on a longer rant about this, but it's easier to rant. Like, if someone were to make a video about it, I could respond to it, but like, but it's such a simple open and shut case of homophobia. All I can say is like, that's homophobic. A lot of the ways I argue is like, I look at someone's points and then I just dismantle each of them rather than coming up with like a bunch of original ones. You know what I mean? Like most of my points, like when it comes to stuff like that, is like, oh, well, you're going to say something like this. You know what I mean? But it's like, if they don't say that, then it's like, I'm kind of just, fighting a point that's not there. But I've seen literally all the points of it's okay to, if I prefer a man who doesn't sleep with men, like that doesn't make me homophobic. I've seen all the points and they're all incorrect. Bro, hold on. Bro, this one's crazy. Aggressive / DV again. Well, I guess I kind of just have to ignore it when they say it at this point. Hated women who got their body done and women in general. What do you mean who got their body done? He hated plastic surgery? Like, I feel like that's kind of just, I feel like some men just hate plastic surgery and slept in a feminine way. God forbid a guy be quirky. Hated gay people. Okay, homophobia. Would talk for hours with his guy best friend. I asked him straight up after seeing many signs and he got aggressive. Ladies, don't ask if you're alone. Chances are he might try to hit you. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. That is obviously a lot of stuff is thrown in here that's not necessary. But I will say, it is horrible that women get abused over stuff like that. Like, it's definitely not acceptable in any way to put your hands on your woman, especially over something like that. Like, obviously, like, there's no reason, but, like, you're not in any sort of physical date. Like, why? Like, because you're worried about something? And the thing is, people, when it comes to issues like this, I feel like a lot of people, at least, when I post on TikTok, they get very upset with me because they're like, oh, well, you're not talking about the issue of, like, DV, and it's, to me, it's just like, that's obviously wrong. Like no one's gonna defend DV, except idiots. Okay, sorry. This girl just said she had dreams and her dreams are never wrong. She's an oh my god, I hate people like that. I hate the my dreams are never wrong. But anyways, I get into trouble for stuff like that all the time because I refuse to acknowledge something that I feel like is too much common sense, right? Like I got in trouble with the whole Shannon Sharp thing. I didn't actually get in trouble. Like obviously no one's like the boss of me. But like people in my comment section when I made a TikTok about it, because I was talking about her being white, talked a bit about the age gap. And like I obviously threw in, I was like, oh, if he actually did this is horrible. But then like I talked about other stuff. And then people are like, oh, like how are you not making a bigger deal out of the fact that he potentially SA'd this one, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, the thing is, we all agree that SA is wrong. You know what I mean? Like every reasonable person is going to say, assaulting somebody is wrong, that DV is wrong. So I don't see why I have to sit here and acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's a reasonable thing to bring up to me unless I'm saying something that implies that I'm arguing against it. So it's like, yeah, like when I see like DV, I'm like, bro, like they're kind of being homophobic by this. And I agree, domestic violence is worse than homophobia, but like, everyone agrees that domestic violence is bad. A lot of people let homophobia slide. Bro, this girl said he refused to head out because my eyeshadow didn't match my maroon skirt. I should have known that in there. Bro, bro, he's got better taste than you. And now, like again, like they try to sprinkle in stuff that they're just like bad at. And they're like, oh, well, I couldn't match my eyeshadow to my fit. So he got mad. So he must be gay. Like, no, he just knows what he's talking about. Look at this. Ladies, what have we learned reading this comment section? Absolutely nothing. You haven't learned shit. Look, constantly looking for a flaw in everything I do, comparing himself to me, looking me up and down in a judgmental way. Bro, some people are just judgmental. Like, do you see what I mean, bro? Do you see what I mean? Just everyone's gay. Girl said, I've noticed every DL man I've heard about has DV allegations. Every single one of them. If you think your man's DL, please get the proof and try to quietly leave. Women are losing their lives to it. Now, that's true. Women are losing their lives. That's another thing where it's like, I guess I have to acknowledge it. But mind you, okay, she's saying every DL man I've heard about has domestic violence allegations. Literally, in this comment section, there are tons of women who are literally just like, yeah, there are ones where it's like, oh yeah, I was domestic violence. But there are other ones where they're like, oh yeah, I just found Grindr in his phone. I just heard a Grindr notification. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, we need to stop marrying the idea of DL and DV. However, I think it is appropriate to say, hey, you know, certain men can react in certain ways to it. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I feel that way about anything. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you're gonna confront a man about cheating, some men get violent over stuff like that. Unfortunately, like, it would be much better if men could just have like conversations at the very least, like, about the shit with these young ladies. But my thing is, when you associate DL and DV so closely, it's, you know, it just has a bad impact. Like, this is obviously like, this stuff like this in particular is a very nuanced thing. Okay, and I feel like people don't approach it in a nuanced way. Like, I feel like people are like, oh well, I've heard a bunch of DL men are domestic abusers, so that's just okay to say. And it's like, no, like, that leads to problematic views of homosexual people. When truthfully, again, be careful if you confront a man about anything as a woman. You know, like, unfortunately, like, I wish you didn't have to worry about stuff like that, but you absolutely do, regardless of what it is, whether it's him being gay, whether it's him cheating regularly, whether it's you breaking up with him. Some men like freak out over that. Bro, this is so annoying. When friends would ask, when are you going to propose? And he'd turn to me and say, yes, when are you going to propose? While he pointed to his empty ring finger, he wanted to be the prize princess. Like, bro, that's not gay. Like, that's just legitimately not gay. Like, the notion that men who want to be treated nicely are gay is just horrible. And I giggled because we were watching Titanic and he shrieked when Leo came on screen. Bro, maybe Leo was just looking handsome, bro. But God forbid a man have some quirks. Bro, bro, there are women who constantly post about celebrity women being hot, but they never get the allegations. Bro, literally, look at people talk about Megan Thee Stallion, bro. The way women talk about Megan Thee Stallion, bro, they all want to smash her, bro. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear him shrieking when Leo came on screen as like actual evidence. Bro, this girl said 6 months married, I found him bent over in the closet with one of my thongs sticking out of his jeans. It's only gotten worse from there. Okay, now, is he gay or is he just wearing your thongs? I don't think that's gay in particular. He could be a cross-dresser. I think that's okay. You know, I got cross-dressing allegations. Like, in high school, I got cross-dressing allegations, which was very funny. And they weren't even saying it to be mean. They were just like, yeah, Bryce, you're a cross-dresser. And it was because I wore, like, 2 fur coats. And I was just like, okay. Like if you're, as long as you're not, like, harassing me about it, I guess I don't care. Bro, he had Grindr on his phone, said he used it to set dudes up. Not gonna lie, these Grindr lies are horrible. What do you mean you used it to set dudes up? Bro, just this notion right here. Anytime watching TV, he always ridiculed and critiqued only the women, never talked negatively about the men. Just this notion that, like, men who are misogynists are gay. Like, we need to, again, like, the correlation we need to take out. Like, yes, it's something that happens sometimes, but we need to take out, like, oh, this is a very real sign of him being gay. Because, again, it's like when people say stuff like this, they don't say anything more like, oh, well, I found Grindr in his phone. Like, some people have, actually. But, like, people like this, they're not saying, oh, well, I found Grindr in his phone. I found him texting another man. I caught him in a room with another man. Thought I paused, but you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. Bro, and look at the original creator, bro, feeding the foolishness when he spent more time with his homeboys than me. For real, though. Such a giveaway, and I wish I knew that back then before we started learning about it on social media. Learning about it, bro. They think they're learning shit right now. Like, they think they're, like, taking classes on it. Okay, someone said when he had Grindr on his phone, but he was just curious. I feel like people should have the right to be curious. I'm not gonna lie. However, I'm not gonna lie. If you're curious, though, you absolutely have a little bit of zest to you. Can't lie, because I've never been curious. Imagine being curious about something that, like, you don't want to do on any level. You know what I mean? And also, just, there are things that you're curious about that you would never partake in. You know what I mean? Like when I hear about people, like, sleeping with animals, I'm like, how do they even do that? But I would never, ever, under any circumstances, want to see it or want to engage with it myself. Someone said the dangly earring. Oh, whoa, hold up. Men can't accessorize anymore, apparently. Always want to hang with his homeboys more than me. Bro, they're mad when they have friends. The way he would look and talk to his close guy friend compared to me, he was always angry with me too. Like, I would irritate him by just being there. Maybe you were just irritating. See, you know what I mean? I hate when people don't want to take any accountability. He always wanted to bring up how often he would get hit on by men, like he was in competition with me or something. See, it sounds like she's mad because she got hit on less. Truly. He was a Virgo, dreamed it. See, what are we talking about here? He was messaging men using my pictures to catfish them. For one, if you're just getting money out of it, I don't think that's gay, because I know some people do that. But like, why? Like, why, bro? Why would you catfish with someone? Why would you catfish in general? But why would you use your girl to catfish? That's makes exactly what I said. When his skincare routine and was longer and better than mine. Again, and I can end it right there. Like, God forbid a man takes care of himself. Like, God forbid he wants his skin to be clear, you know, or his just to look nice in general. Again, like, all these were cared too much about his looks. God forbid a man has friends. Okay, God forbid he has some buddies. God forbid he does anything that you don't like. Okay, but anyways, I thought a lot of those were hilarious. Okay, I thought it was very interesting. And again, there's 13,000 comments, so I would have loved to go through them all, but like I literally could not, because you know eventually I gotta get this video out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And man, yeah, this is this is quite the I'm feeling quite the way about how things have been lately. So yeah, state of affairs, I gave you a lot of it at the beginning. Let me know about the camera quality like right now, because I know I still got backlighting, but I am curious if it's better, because I feel like it might look a little better. I don't know. But the next video, I'm going to make sure I try to record at night, so I don't, so I don't have to run into that problem, because I think that's what the issue is. I think it's the backlighting when the sun comes in a certain way. Because I remember that video, you literally couldn't even see the blinds. Like, you couldn't see the entire blinds because it was so backlit. But yeah, bro, dude, my girl. I'm looking at myself right now. I'm making sure I still look presentable. Something you need to understand about me, and I might say this again, but like again in another video, there are two parts of me. Okay, there are two major parts of me. There is the human side, who gets sad and emotional about things, when, little crybaby. And then there's the other side. I don't know what I want to call it, but more so like, like I'm more so curious. Like, what happens? Like, what is this? Like, what's next? What does this mean for me? You know what I mean? And that second part of me is very good at being removed and detached from certain situations. You know what I mean? But then like certain situations are like super, like, because that when I tell you I have perception issues, like that's the thing. Like, I remember people were like people talk to me all the time about, I hate it that I say this, like, say like someone close to me passes away, I can't really imagine it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine someone who's alive right now, or like someone that I know or like thought of being alive, not being alive. Can't imagine it. But every once in a while, like, there'll be just like things will like slice through. So it's like I have the side where I'm struggling with perceiving, because I'm more so processing what would that mean? Like, how would it, like, because it's like, say processing is level 1, I'm skipping to level 2. You know what I mean? Just level 2 thought. And I don't know. So I guess some people, it would be very weird for some people. And what I'm saying might not make sense right now. It's like I'm going straight from, like, I feel like some people would be like, oh, she's going sobbing uncontrollably. But me right now, I'm more, for one, I'm like, is she gone? Because it's like, I don't have confirmation. I should by the end of today. Which, by the way, if I find out anything, I'll comment something in here. Like if she's okay, I'll comment that she's okay. But yeah, it's like I move on from like the, oh my gosh, I'm so like sad, this is terrible, to like, where do I go from here? Like, I do that like instantly, because things I've had, and I'm gonna save a lot of this for the video I make or don't make about it, but I've experienced like a lot of like loss, like in that kind of way. So I, especially when I was at younger ages, so I kind of had no choice but to, obviously after I cried as a child, to be like, okay, where do I go from here? Like, because it's kind of, I kind of see it as like a thing that happens, but every once in a while, that like part of just like pure, oh my gosh, like this is horrible, I want to cry, will like slice through. So it's like right now, like I could probably hold a conversation and be fine, but I could definitely see myself like starting to cry at a very inopportune time. Like, I'm gonna go to the gym later. Like, if I start crying in the gym, I'd be pissed. But you know what I mean? And I guess the reason I want to say this, which is just coming to me now, is I feel like people might think, if I make a video about it, people might be like, oh, well, that's in poor taste. And the thing is, yeah, it probably would be, but also I have to. You know what I mean? Like if it comes down to that, I have to. Like it's just who I am. Like I'm not very good at processing things, so it's like I bring things to other people, I guess, to like process them for me. So that's why like there are a lot of things I can say about. Like there's a video like where I got touched, you know, like I talked about getting touched. Like I don't really process that or like perceive it very well. So it's like I bring it to other people, I bring it up to other people, and people are like, "Oh, that's horrible, that's horrible." And then I'm like, "Okay." Like it's like you did it for me. You know what I mean? Like everyone's it's like when I bring to you a traumatic experience and you react like, "Oh, that's so horrible." I'm like, "Okay, it is horrible. Good." You know, so now like I know what's going on. So yeah, if I end up making that video, bro, I'm definitely gonna say things where you're gonna be like, why would he say that? You know what I mean? Nothing bad, obviously. I'm not gonna what am I gonna do? Shit on her? Of course not. But like I'm probably gonna like, you know me. You know me if you've been following me for a long time. I very much say things that you wouldn't expect anybody to say in a situation, which will come up. But I want you to understand it's part of my process. Like I don't want you to think I don't want you to think I'm like heartless. But I can very much see myself talking about it very like straight faced and very matter of factly like this. So yeah, just know like if because I'm hurt right now because I'm very concerned, you know. So and obviously I'm gonna get confirmation tonight. I believe. Um, so like obviously like I'm very like I'm hurt and like emotional about it right now. But like if I get like some sort of confirmation, I'll probably also be very emotional. But like I can still come off like as non-emotional. But again, like I don't want y'all to be like, "Oh, Bryce, like you're tweaking. Like what's wrong with you?" Like if I just come off as kind of like cold and unemotional about it, because trust me, I do really. It's a very serious thing for me. It's like I love this woman and whatnot, you know. So if she's gone, whew, tough for me. Tough for me. But yeah, you know, obviously I don't want to get too much into it right now because obviously this video is about what it's about, and if I want to make a video about it, I want to make like a full video about it. But yeah, I wanted you guys to keep that in mind in case you saw the video that I hopefully don't have to make and thought like, oh, bro, you're being kind of like cold about it. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I want you to know, like, I very deeply care about what's going on. I'm just not always good at expressing that, especially when I'm at my most emotional. But again, I hope she's okay. I'm hoping all of this is gonna be like super embarrassing, and I'm like, oh, she's actually okay. Like that would be great for me. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted you guys to know that. And I hope the point that I'm trying to got through okay. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, everything I have to say, and I love you. Okay, have a great day, night, evening.